It's time now for the Newsmaker. And let's get more on the planned protests for Armistice Day tomorrow. I'm delighted to be joined by the great British battle axe herself. Her words, not mine, Christine Hamilton.
Hello, Mark.
Christine, before we talk about the rather worrying events that are going to possibly happen this weekend, we've got some much-needed good news on a Friday night. It is your birthday.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is my birthday. Another one down. How many more to go, I wonder?
And I cannot believe you're now 50, but can I say you don't look it? And also...
Go on.
Well, first of all, I will just say, I'm sure Neil said it to you earlier when he brought you breakfast in bed, your husband, Neil Hamilton, but you are a beautiful woman, you're a fabulous broadcaster, and just the most delightful human being. So happy birthday from me and all of our viewers and listeners here at GB News. We love you loads.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark. That's the best birthday present I've had all day.
Speaking of which, we will get to the serious business of news and current affairs, but it is your birthday. Anyone that wants to go on Wikipedia will not believe the figure involved, but you look incredible. What did you get? Did you get anything? I mean, have you received the red carpet treatment from your other half?
Yes, of course I have. And it did start with, well, not breakfast in bed, because I don't do that, but a mug of tea in bed. Of course it did. But most mornings start like that. I can't fault him on that. Unfortunately, we have had to go to a funeral today, so that wasn't ideal on my birthday, but it makes you appreciate how lucky you are still to be around.
Most definitely. Well, my commiserations to the person that passed. Christine, we are very concerned, aren't we, all of us? The nation awaits what's going to happen this weekend. We're praying there won't be trouble, but it could kick off. What's the worst thing that could happen, do you think? What is your darkest fear about what might play out this weekend? Oh,
do you know, I'm very angry about some of the things that are going on, but I'm also incredibly saddened by it, because I can remember not that long ago when the entire nation came together at 11 o'clock, 11, and everything came to a halt. If you were in a shop, everything stopped. If you were even the buses stopped. When I was a child, the buses stopped at 11 o'clock. They made sure they weren't running. So we've sadly come a long way from there, and it isn't going to be at 11 o'clock tomorrow, the great coming together of the nation that it always used to be. I just pray that there is no trouble. Any decent person wants there to be no trouble. One always fears that there are troublemakers in any crowd who will be out to make trouble. And there's 2 days, aren't there? There's Armistice Day tomorrow, and then there's Remembrance Sunday the day after. And I think we should be entitled as a nation to have those 2 days to remember the people who some of them gave their all. And it is such a moving weekend. And the sight of the veterans, the widows, and sometimes you get the little children marching with their dad's medals or their grandpa's medals. And it just is such a heartwarming sight. And please, God, we can just enjoy is the wrong word, but enjoy it in the normal way without any interruptions. We don't want anything to take away from this weekend of remembrance.
You're absolutely right. And I think that should be the abiding message. And let's hope that wonderful message prevails, Christine. Should we have some fun? Because it is Friday night. Not only is it your birthday, but my sources tell me that Nigel is heading to Australia. He hasn't confirmed. ITV have not confirmed. But if he goes into the jungle, of course, you were there for the first series of I'm a Celebrity, weren't you?
I was. And for what it's worth, I bet he's going in. I absolutely bet he's going in. So I'm sure we'll see him. He won't be able to resist. Yes, I was in the very first one when literally, oh, my goodness, I'm on the screen now. There we are. Nobody really knew what was coming. ITV didn't know that the programme was going to be so successful. Look at my black eye. I can see I got a terrible black eye in one of the trials. The reason it's successful is because they make sure there's a mix of personalities that don't get on. They deliberately... When they asked me to go on the first time, I said no, because I thought I really don't need this. Life was pretty hellish in 2001. So they asked me again. They obviously hadn't got their middle-aged mother hen, I was middle-aged in those days. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. There was the odd, scary moment with snakes and all that sort of thing. But basically, I'm an outdoorsy girl, so the camping side didn't worry me. I didn't want it to end. I loved it. And I think Nigel will do well because he's a people person, and people were worrying that he has some medical problems. He might not be too good on the trials. You can get an out or a buy for the trials if you can't do it. Lots of people have done that, especially the older people. And I think he'd be very good. I think his problem is he can have a short fuse. I've been at the far end of it. He can have a short fuse, but as long as he keeps that under control. And it's a wonderful opportunity. You mentioned, I think, Mark, you mentioned the editing. And that is the only thing I was worried about. I wasn't scared of snakes or everything, but it was the editing. But they were certainly very fair with me, as far as I was aware. So I don't think I was edited badly. But I tell you, he's jolly well going to miss the old alcohol. I mean, that was one of the big problems for me. And if they do well, he might get the odd treat. They might send the odd bit, but not for a few days. So if you're an alcohol addict or a smoking or whatever, you're gonna miss your favourite treats. But I think he'll love it. A lot of people won't. Politicians, by the way, don't tend to do very well. If you look at the raft of politicians who've gone in, they're the first out. But Matt Hancock stayed in for a long time, and he certainly wasn't and isn't, what shall we say, flavour of the month. So I think he'll do well. Whether he'll win or not, it entirely depends how the cookie crumbles, who else is in there. You never know. But yes, you're right. I think you said earlier that we will all sit at home in the flabby comfort of our armchairs with our glass of wine and our whatever, voting for people to do trials. It's wonderful. There's something very sadistic about all of us. Oh, yes, let's throw them into that. But as long as he does those well, the viewers like people who do the trials well and who just go for it. They don't like wimps. So as long as he doesn't wimp out of that sort of thing, I think he'll do well. Whether he'll win or not remains to be seen. But I wish him luck, and I'm perfectly certain he's going in. I mean, honestly, he likes an audience. He likes an audience for his views. He likes to perform. Well, it's a great platform on which to perform, and I'm sure he won't be averse to collecting the cheque either. I would like to make it clear that 2 years ago, the amount paid was not quite so generous.
No. That's right. You should have held out for a couple of years. Listen, Christine, have a great birthday night, and we can't wait to see you in the studio. I think you're back in with Nana tomorrow at 3. Is that right?
Oh, no, not tomorrow. Sunday at 3 with Nana Akua. Mark, I couldn't wish for a better birthday present than to share a little bit with you and GB News viewers.
Brilliant. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Hangover tomorrow and then back on air Sunday at 3 with Nana. Thanks, Christine. Brilliant stuff.